Hi good life family, what's good and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video and a new movie review. Today, as I am guessing that you must have already seen from the title and the thumbnail, I am going to be reviewing Sonia Uche's new movie titled Voice in the Room. This movie stars fantastic and talented actors and actresses like Sonia Uche herself, Anthony Woode, I don't know if that's pronounced Wood or Woode, but then you know who I'm talking about. Thelma Nwosu, the talented child actor Chim Kasima King David, Chisom Ago Awike, and of course some other minor acts that I didn't take note of their names. Sonia Uche really outdid herself this time around in this particular one. In fact, I know that I just finished reviewing her last movie titled Played, where she starred Timini Eberson and herself in the movie. And I was talking about how interesting and entertaining that particular one was. Nothing prepared me for this one, if I'm to be honest. I said in my last video, if you've already seen it, Sonia Uche always comes up with new and amazing ways to bust my head. The kind of effort, the dedication, the creativity, the attention to detail, and all the other good stuff that was put into this movie is really something to commend, right? Considering that this movie is a small budget movie with a very limited time frame, I think she did commendably good in this particular movie. The story was awesome. This particular movie was such a beautiful, heartwarming one to watch. If you have seen the movie, you practically know what I'm talking about. But then if you haven't, if you will take my word for it, if you will trust me, I highly recommend you go check it out. It's a movie that you would not regret watching. Take my word for it. Go watch it, go see the movie, and come back and thank me later. The movie carries us along on the journey of Sochima, who is a single mom to a 10-year-old and the lead character in this particular movie, and the struggles she faces while raising her 10-year-old son single-handedly, and how fate also takes her on another journey that reopens some old, bitter, painful wounds and eventually leads to her reuniting with her son's father as well as his family. It explores themes of redemption, faith, friendship, love, forgiveness, struggles, and hope. One of the things that stood out to me the most in this particular movie, number one, is Sonia Uche's dedication, not only to the act of making movies, but also the dedication that can obviously be seen in her performance in the roles that she's given in movies. I gathered from the information that was displayed at the end of this movie that this story was written by Sonia Uche herself, and this movie is directed by Great Val Edochie. And to be very honest, the creativity of this particular story, one thing about Sonia Uche's movies is the fact that she always surprises me. I know, like, you see a movie and you feel like, okay, you can guess the plot of the movie, you can guess what is going to happen, you know what's going to unfold in the movie, but then everything just goes like this, and you're sitting there for hours, for like an hour and something, and maybe for something minutes, and like you're just blown. There aren't a lot of movies that I have actually genuinely enjoyed watching on YouTube these days. As if this middle part of the year, people are losing their creativity and they're just coming up with anything to just mark attendance and be like, okay, I've dropped my movie for the week. I love how there was such a positive flow of energy in this particular movie, and I mean the overall interactions of all of the actors and actresses in this particular movie. It was really so beautiful to watch. I love the visual concept of this movie. This movie was shot in Abuja, by the way. Abuja is such a beautiful city. Sonia Uche, in her character as Sochi in this particular movie, you could tell that she obviously came with everything she got, right? She brought her A game into this movie. She was obviously so dedicated to this particular role. She was so fluid in her acting. She literally did practically embodied this particular character, Sochi. She obviously, from her acting and the way she pulled off her role, you could tell that she was basically in the frame of mind of this particular character. She was literally living the character, Sochi. I love and I adore the chemistry between her and the child actor, Chim Kasima King David. Although I have been able to pick and notice from most of the movies that I see this child star in that he usually has very fantastic chemistry with most of the adult actors that he's on set with. Chim Kasima King David, in his role as Jidena in this particular movie, was getting on my nerves. My God, picking no the here word. Kilo de. Stay here. The boy will not stay. The place they tell him not to go, that's the place that his body will be itching to go. Like, my heart was literally beating for Sochi in this movie every second that she was stepping out, because you just know that this boy was about to just come perform more magic somewhere and spoil something and mess something up. And considering the fact that they didn't have any other place to go to, like, remember, like, see, anytime that boy steps out of the house, anytime his mom is stepping out, I was say, I beg this boy, stay one place. Stay one place. But that is the last thing that was on this boy's mind. He would just be doing things that nobody asked him to do. But then overall, I honestly feel like that child is a good actor. He deserves his flowers because he did a very commendable job on the set of this particular movie. I think he did really good. Although you mostly find that in Nigerian movies or Nollywood movies, most of the child actors and actresses are not really required to do anything. They're just basically required to come onto the movie set and just be children. And that's basically what the boy did. Okay, now let's proceed to talk about Anthony Wood. I don't know if that name is pronounced Wood or Woody. Let me know in the comment section. Like, tell me what's the correct pronunciation if you know. And by that, I mean the actor that played the character of Obinna in this movie, the Madman. The man took this particular role as the Madman a little bit too serious for my liking. And I was watching this movie in my mind, I'm like, okay, are you sure you're not mad in real life? You could obviously tell from his acting and how very relaxed and fluid he was in his acting that he was obviously enjoying this role. There really isn't so much to critique about his acting, but in simple terms, he did really good. He brought his A game. He was enjoying the role and he played it out very well, very fluid. His acting, thumbs up to him. Let's talk about Chisom Awike. I honestly struggle with the correct pronunciation of that name. So let's just call her Chisom A for the sake of this video, so that I don't just can't pronounce somebody's father's name anyhow. Chisom A in her supporting role as Sochi's friend in this movie. The name of her character is Kate. Firstly, the character of Kate wasn't really required to do too much in this movie, given that she was actually a supporting actor. She was in a supporting role. But I feel like she brought in the right amount of energy that was required for this particular role. I loved her acting in this movie. I think I have seen her acting, you know, like a sports brat in 2 movies. Not like a sports brat, but like in the element of like a bougie nepo baby. That is the kind of role I'm familiar with seeing her in. But in this particular one, she was not that. She was this kind of down-to-earth, low-class friend, because they obviously are 2 poor people. I mean, Kate in this movie was a house girl in some place where she worked. This particular role was actually taking her away from what I am usually seeing her, or the kind of roles that I usually see her play, if that makes any sense. So I feel like she did good enough in this movie. Like I said before, everybody did good in this movie, or maybe I was too distracted by the awesomeness of the story to actually be able to pick out any flops in this movie. But then if you saw something that you felt like was off about this movie, let me know in the comment section, right, so that I can probably observe it, because I really didn't observe anything wrong about this movie, because the story was captivating enough for me to actually just get lost in it, and I just was not able to pick anything wrong with the film, if that makes any sense. For Thelma Nwosu, who plays the character of Obinna's mom, or Lolo as she's popularly called in this particular movie, she really did like really good in this her role as Obinna's mom. She was giving headmistress. Like at some point in this particular movie, when she was always on this boy's case, always scolding the child and like all of those things that she used to do, I also started to wonder, is like between her and the boy that is locked up in the room, I mean the man that's locked up in the room, who is the mad person? Because at some point in this movie, she was behaving mad at the beginning part of the movie, and she would always be on their case. Like the woman was so annoying. The times that she would call Sochi and be like, "You mean to tell me you're going to leave your son 10 years old unattended to?" Like remember, I'm like, "Madam, is your head okay?" If she doesn't leave her son unattended, are you going to help her and back him? Because what is this all these questions, right? I really enjoyed watching her character in this movie, to be very honest. She was very annoying. Like her character as Lolo was very annoying. But then her as an actress, I think she did really good. I really want to commend the direction of this particular movie, because of the way everybody was just in their elements in this movie. You wouldn't, or I didn't at any point in time find anybody slacking on their roles. You could tell that the director, you know, knows his onions from the movie. And the director of this movie is Grace Val Edochie, by the way, in case you didn't know. And as we all know on this space, Grace Val Edochie is one director that knows his onions, and he always, you know, knows what to do. I think every other thing was okay. Every other thing was on point. The visual concept of the movie was great, and I did not expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did. Like I said, I started watching this movie early hours, no, late yesterday night, and I was up throughout. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop watching. Like I really wanted to get to the end of the movie. And to be honest, I love that this movie gave mature vibes. Like it was a very calm, like very chill movie that gave mature vibes, because regular Nollywood that we know, we already know how this movie is supposed to end. Under normal circumstances, in the regular Nollywood that we know, when Sochi forgives Obina, he's supposed to automatically magically regain his senses and become normal, and then he'll beg for forgiveness, and then she'll forgive him, and then they will not get married and live happily ever after. But I thank God in heaven that they did not do that, because they would have spoiled the movie. I love how they kept everything clean, how they kept everything mature, and ended the movie on a good note. Anyway, for a rating, that's the tricky part, because in as much as I say this movie was good and I thoroughly enjoyed it, when I say I thoroughly enjoyed this particular movie, I mean with regards to the kind of movies that are displayed on the YouTube Nollywood space, not in Nollywood space in general. I mean with regards to YouTube Nollywood movies. So in case you're wondering why I'm going to be giving this movie this rating, that is the reason why. All of that explanation being given, I'll rate this movie a 7 over 10. With a little bit of like more time to put in a little bit of more work and make the movie a lot less unicentric and a bigger budget, I think it could easily be a 10 over 10 movie. But right now, with the budget and the time frame and the little bit of details in the movie, because of the time frame and the budget, it deserves a 7 over 10. Let me know how you rate the movie in the comment section if you have seen it, and then if you haven't seen it, take my word for it, it's a good one, you will enjoy it. If you love to watch Nollywood movies on YouTube, it's one of the movies that you actually enjoy, although it depends on the kind of vibe that you're looking for when it comes to movies. But let me know how you rate this movie in the comment section if you have seen it. If you haven't, go check it out, and then if you still have time on your hands, you can come back and let me know how you felt about the movie while watching it. That gladly brings us to the end of this particular video, this particular movie review. If you are watching and you aren't subscribed to this channel, do want to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to join the Good Life family, turn on your post notifications to get notified whenever I put out new, awesome, and amazing content like this. And all of that being said, until I come again to your screen next time, I remain your girl, Mimi. Asike, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all dearly, and God bless you. Bye.